Many people refer to the Everglades as a swamp and are surprised to discover that the water you see behind me is actually fresh water. And this water is the most significant and the most abused resource that holds this ecosystem together. Katelyn Kucharski is here with some of the threats facing the freshwater of the Everglades. Katelyn?
Guys, take a look at this. Around this time of year, the water level should be up to my knees. But right now, it is barely up to my ankles, leaving many to ask, where has all the water gone? I explored some threats to the Everglade freshwater and what this could mean for millions of Florida residents. When close to 9 million Florida residents turn on their tap, their freshwater may come from the home of gators.
1 out of every 4 Floridians, and I'm not just talking South Floridians, drinks water from the Everglades.
But this freshwater source has been under serious threat since the 1800s, when efforts to drain the Everglades began.
We started filling the canal, or creating canals in order to drain the water from the wetlands that need the water in order to be healthy.
As a result of the draining efforts, 75% of the Everglades' historic water flow has been lost.
They thought it was this, inhospitable, godforsaken, pestilential, mosquito-infested swamp. Draining it was seen as the kind of great service to humanity. People didn't think like, oh no, that might get rid of the Everglades.
Water pollution is also a growing issue, and much of the pollution has come from Florida's growing agricultural economy, which takes place on drained land within the Everglades. There are more than 400,000 acres of sugarcane alone, in addition to millions of acres of other crops planted where the Everglades used to be.
There's been a lot of development for agricultural interests in the Everglades agricultural area, and not so great agricultural practices for controlling runoff and pollution for things like nitrogen and phosphorus that come from fertilizers.
What made it the Everglades was this pristine water quality where it was literally cleaner than Evian. It was this oligotropic ecosystem that was defined by its lack of phosphorus.
The agricultural industry releases too much phosphorus in the Everglades, and algae feed off this now abundant nutrient.
All these algal species are trying to accumulate those nutrients, and then they become unchecked in their growth. So this algal biomass will kill everything else.
The overgrowth of algae depletes oxygen, killing fish and other animals. But it's not just fertilizer that is polluting the water. Human waste is also contributing.
We have a lot of septic tanks in Miami-Dade County, over 120,000 septic tanks that are regularly inundated with water. But septic tanks need about 2 feet of dry ground beneath it. And if they don't have that 2 feet of dry ground, it's then infiltrating our groundwater.
And now, the long-time impacts of climate change are also challenging our water supply. With sea level rise, saltwater is moving into the Everglades and contaminating the fresh water.
Historically, very important and very productive freshwater, saltwater areas that are now becoming more and more almost exclusive saltwater areas.
And the salt water is also pushing further inland, taking the place of freshwater that is drained from the aquifer.
During certain parts of the year, different areas of the Everglades require different volumes of water deliveries. So we can't just pump a bunch of water into the Everglades when it used to be historically dry.
And as freshwater is pumped in the wrong directions, saltwater takes its place. Climate change has also led to irregular weather patterns, which can cause droughts that fail to fill up our tap. And with more people moving to Florida, the freshwater crisis will only continue, and our Everglades tap may run dry. But while this freshwater source may be under threat, not all hope is lost. Scientists have been working for years on water restoration. Wyatt Kopelman traveled to Central Florida to learn what can be done to restore the historic water flow of the Everglades. Wyatt, what did you find?
Thanks, Katelyn. Restoring the historic water flow in the Everglades has been the most important task in front of government officials and scientists for many decades here in Florida. And I had a chance to take a closer look at one project that has cost billions of dollars to clean and retain the fresh water near Lake Okeechobee, the largest reservoir in the Everglades. The Everglades begins at Lake Okeechobee in Central Florida, or at least it used to. For centuries, the water flow worked flawlessly.
Historically, Lake Okeechobee and its natural flow used to operate sort of as a saucer. So in the headwaters of the Kissimmee River, during the rainy season, Lake Okeechobee would fill up and eventually spill over the southern edge of the lake and create a sheet flow effect down into the southern Everglades.
And when water in the lake was low, the flow would stop and allow the Everglades to dry seasonally. But all that changed when people started draining the Everglades and building dams around Lake Okeechobee.
There wasn't this understanding that this ecosystem was all connected, that you couldn't just put a fence around part of it.
The drastic changes to the ecosystem led to serious problems with the flow, conservation, and management of freshwater.
Right now, we have this completely messed up ecosystem where in the wet season, there's way too much water and no place to put it.
Currently, we dump billions of gallons of water each year from Lake Okeechobee to get rid of it because we don't have the capacity to put it back in the environment where it used to go historically.
So over the past few decades, scientists and environmentalists have been working on multiple projects to try to restore the historic flow of water in the Everglades. And arguably the most important of these initiatives is the Everglades Agricultural Area Reservoir that encompasses almost 17,000 acres.
This project is widely regarded as the crown jewel of Everglades restoration, and it creates a deep sort of storage reservoir with a lot of storage capacity that will allow us to clean up water before sending it south.
This reservoir is critical because it'll provide the biggest benefit to all different areas of the Everglades ecosystem.
Before, the only way we could get rid of it, again, was sending it out east and west, and that was not good because it didn't allow us a chance to clean the water before it was sent out to tide.
The reservoir will be one of the most important assets to keeping polluted water away from Florida's coastlines and not far from here at Lake Okeechobee. And by 2030, the $4 billion project will be able to hold at least 80 billion gallons of water and make sure that water is clean many miles before it even gets to the Everglades. And while the reservoir itself might not be the ultimate solution to many water problems in the Everglades, it certainly is a big step in the right direction.
It's hard to replicate what Mother Nature created initially, and so we're doing our best, but we know that even if we meet, just a percentage of what we had historically, we'll see those really measurable benefits to the ecosystems.
For UMTV, I'm Wyatt Kopelman.